Give these exercises a try if you're struggling with inner shin pain from medial tibial stress syndrome when you run or play sports. Foot sweeps are a great exercise that can be done to challenge the posterior tibialis muscle, which is commonly affected with this injury. This muscle is the only muscle in the leg that is active the entire time your foot is on the ground during the gait cycle. Because of this, this should be done as an endurance-based exercise that's done for a high number of repetitions. The bent knee heel raise is also a great exercise that can be done to help with recovery from medial tibial stress syndrome. Before starting this one, you'll want to make sure you're cleared of a tibial stress fracture before you add this one in. Having good calf strength and size is a known factor that protects against stress fractures. However, it's not something you want to add during the early phases of a known active stress fracture in the shin. Working on exercises that will help improve foot and leg control is a must in medial tibial stress syndrome rehab. Mobo foot rocks and the banded twist that can be done on or off the Mobo board are two of my favorites for this. The Mobo foot rocks are a great exercise for challenging the arches of the foot, and the banded twist is a great way to make the foot and hip muscles work together for better leg control. This one's best done barefoot or in minimal shoes. To do this exercise, keep the stance leg big toe firmly grounded to the floor while you rotate with the belly button and torso outward. You want to make sure with this one that the knee stays still while the rest of the body moves. Strengthening the hip abductors on the outside of your hip is also going to be an important consideration for this injury. Two of my go-tos for this are the side-lying banded hip abduction and the hip hikes. For the banded hip abduction, make sure you're keeping your leg behind your body. You should feel this mostly in the back part of the hip and not the front. For the hip hikes, keep the knee slightly bent and hike the pelvis up using your stance leg. The final thing to consider with this injury are gait modifications. There are several things you can do to try to reduce stress to your shin when you start to feel symptoms creep in on a run. The first modification is to try increasing your running cadence by 5 to 10% from normal. This will help promote a closer landing to your body and will help reduce stress to the shin bone when you run. Another factor about gait that can increase stress on the inside of the shin is a crossover gait. If you have a really narrow step width when you run or you crisscross your feet, try slightly widening your stance width when you run. This will help reduce stress to the muscles on the inside of your shin.